Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 1, Chapter 5.2 Notes. Today we're going to be talking about using point slope to write slope-intercept forms of equations of lines. So before we get started with that, we need to do a little warm-up and reminder about some of the things we've already covered, partly in Chapter 4 and some in the last section. So, slope. Remember that the equation for slope is the y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. Okay, so when you're filling that out, just to kind of help you out, you know that the y's are going to go on the top, and then the x's will go on the bottom. So 3 and -1, and then -2 and 5. Make sure to perform the click if you need to, and you end up getting 4 over -7. Okay? Another way to remember is the y's go on the top, so -2 minus 7 over x is on the bottom. 5 minus 5, and when you do that, you get -9 over 0, and that is an undefined slope. Okay? All right, write an equation of the line in slope-intercept form. This is what we were talking about yesterday. So you just need to plug in your information. You know that the slope right here is 2 over 3, and the y-intercept is -4. Okay? Even when you're doing fractions like this, you should not freak out because all you're doing is plugging in the information where it belongs. Okay? And now when we're looking at an actual graph, we need to decide where that graph is going. So -2 over 1, and that equals -2. And then our y-intercept for this graph right here is 0, 2, and from there you can go on and you can write the equation. Okay, so the new thing that we're learning about today is how to write a slope-intercept form equation for a line. And that's when you're given a slope and any point, okay? And that's any point because it's not going to be 0b, okay? It's not going to be your y-intercept. We're going to have to figure some stuff out by ourselves. So the first rule that we need to do is you're going to substitute, and what you're going to be substituting is the slope and the point into the point slope formula. Okay, and this is going to be the only formula that you're going to need to memorize for this chapter. Okay, and now that formula is y minus your y equals the slope x minus your x. So you're actually going to be substituting information into those spots. Okay, and once you're done with that, you're going to distribute and solve for y. And pardon me real quick for number 2, you are also going to have to simplify. And you'll see more about that on the next side of the notes. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and write our equation in real quick. And now identify the different parts, okay? That's an x, that's y, there's our slope. So all you have to do is plug things in. Wherever the y goes, there's the y, there's my slope, there's my x, okay? And now with this, there's no real simplifying that we have to do, so we can go ahead and start to solve. And the first step for that is to distribute. Okay, and now solve for y, which means we want to get the y by itself. and we get y equals negative 5x plus 17. All right, let's go ahead and look at the other side. So every time you fill in this formula, I like to write it like this because it's already got our minus signs in there, so it's one less thing that we need to worry about. And all we have to do is plug things in. So your x, your y, and your slope. So 5, 2, and 1. Okay? So we have to distribute first. You get y minus 5 equals 2x minus 2. Add the 5 to both sides. And you get y equals 2x plus 3. All right, let's do one where we actually have to do some simplifying. Now, x, y, slope. Okay, start plugging in the information, and you might be like, Mr. Grice, what's up with all those negatives? Well, this is where we're going to have to start simplifying, okay? We need to remember click, click. So that's really saying y plus 4 equals negative 1/2 x plus 4. So now that's all simplified, we can just continue on where we distribute the negative 1/2. Don't forget that that's a negative sign right there. Solve for y, get the y by itself, and you get y equals negative 1/2 x minus 6. All right, for example number 4, please pause the video. I'm just going to write this equation out so you guys can remember. And all I want you to do is plug in the information, so please pause the video. Okay, so that's where all the information goes. We can go ahead and do the click, click. Distribute your negative 4. You get negative 4x plus 20. To get the y by itself, you have to subtract the 1 to both sides, and you get y equals negative 4x plus 19. All right, number 5, you are all on your own. Go ahead and pause the video. The next time you hit play, everything will be up. Okay, and there's all the work. So just remember that you had to do the click, click by the negative 3 on the back side of the equation. And be careful with your fractions, okay? All right, number 6 and 7. Go ahead and pause the video. You get to try them both by yourself. Okay, and there are the answers, okay? As always, just be careful with your negatives because you're gonna have to do some click clicks and those are gonna change to positives, okay? All right, for example 8 and example 9, you can go ahead and try them. Pause the video. The answers will be up in just a second. Okay, so there's the equation once you plug it in, and the answers are at the bottom, okay? So that's it for Algebra 1, Chapter 5.2 Notes, Part 1. If you have any questions, please come find Ms. Carranza or myself. We would love to help you out. Thanks for watching, guys.